Brother gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4,
20 times a major TV role was recast during filming. Most actors see through their characters, but every now and then, a major TV role needs to be recreated during filming. 1 of 20. Vivian Banks in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Janet Hubert's misgivings with The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air are well documented. While it's sad to suddenly see someone else in the role of Aunt Viv, the show suffers from the fact that the character was written out of the show. Oddly enough, remaking the episode was the best option. 2 of 20. Carol in Friends. Friends, like many sitcoms, took a while to find its true niche, and apparently to find the right person to play Carol. The first time audiences met Ross' ex-wife, she was played by a different actress than the rest of the episodes she appeared in. Jane Sibbett played this role until the end of the series. 3 out of 20. Ben in Friends. It's not uncommon for a child to be rewritten during filming, especially when they're not heavily in the show. However, when Cole and Dylan Sprouse started playing Ben on Friends, it was a very obvious change. 4 out of 20. Eleanor Waldorf in Gossip Girl. In the pilot episode of Gossip Girl, Eleanor Waldorf was played by a different woman than the rest of the show. However, the cast change made a big difference. We can't imagine anyone other than Margaret Collin as Blair's icy mother. 5 out of 20. Sarah Braverman in Parenthood. Parenthood was a hit in the 2010s, and it's hard to picture the cast without Lauren Graham. But before Graham was cast as Sarah Braverman, the role was played by Maura Tierney. Tierney had to quit smoking to undergo cancer treatments. 6 out of 20. Toby Cavanaugh in Pretty Little Liars. Pilot episodes are expensive to reshoot. But some shows seem better off doing it after recasting the original characters. In Pretty Little Liars, Toby Cavanaugh was portrayed by James Nate. The role was reprised for Keegan Allen for the rest of the series. 7 out of 20. Jason DeLaurentis in Pretty Little Liars. Jason DeLaurentis in Pretty Little Liars was first portrayed by Parker Bagley. However, the show began to include more and more of Jason's character and needed an actor who was available, so the episode was recast with Drew Van Acker. 8 out of 20. The Night King in Game of Thrones. The Night King was originally played by Richard Brigg, but after the 5th season, the role was continued by Vladimir Fortik. Of all the roles that were supposed to be replaced, this was the least noticeable due to the nature of the role. The character is made to look unreal. A computer could have replaced him and viewers probably wouldn't have noticed. 9 out of 20. Michelle Tanner in Full House. It's not often that an actor is cast in the same part, recast, and then cast in the same part again, but this is the case for Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen in Full House. John Stamos fired the twins for crying too much, but when the new babies cried more, Stamos wanted the Olsens back. 10 out of 20. Gordon in Sesame Street. Gordon on Sesame Street may seem like a familiar face now, but that wasn't always the case. The role was originated by Matt Robinson and taken over by Hal Miller, and was continued by Roscoe Orman from the 6th season. 11 of 20. Matthew in Jane the Virgin. Jane the Virgin had a lot of epic storylines that played out on screen. But one cast that didn't talk about was the remake of Mateo. It made sense though. The show moved forward in time and needed an older kid. 12 out of 20. Mandy Milkovich in Shameless. Mandy Milkovich was first played by Jane Levy in Shameless. After the first season, Levy left the series to pursue other acting roles, leaving the role open to Emma Greenwell. Levy found other work, including a starring role on Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. 13 of 20. Meg in Family Man. Meg on Family Guy was originally voiced by Lacey Chabert, best known for playing Gretchen on Mean Girls. Chabert dropped out and the role went to Mila Kunis. Kunis has expressed how she can't imagine why anyone wouldn't want the gig, noting that the money, hours, and workload are all great. 14 of 20. Reggie in Riverdale. Ross Butler originally played the role of Reggie Riverdale, but had to drop out due to his role in 13 Reasons Why. Charles Melton took on the role, which bodes well for his career. Melton has since worked on successful projects such as Poker Face and May December. 15 of 20. It's in Arrested Development. And in Arrested Development wasn't always played by Mae Whitman, but true to the character, the change from one actress to the next wasn't the most noticeable change. But to Whitman's credit, he made the character more memorable than it could have been. 16 of 20. Bobby Draper in Mad Men. Bobby Draper's role in Mad Men was recast several times. First, Maxwell Huckabee, then Aaron Hart, and then Jar played the role S. Gilmore, and ended with Mason Vale Cotton. We're just glad John Hamm was never recast. 17 of 20. Greg in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Santino Fontana originally played Greg in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, but when the character returned, he was instead played by Skylar Astin. The show addressed the change in its funny, meta way, which was equal parts odd and refreshing. 18 of 20. Lily in Modern Family. When Lily became a more prominent character in Modern Family, they tapped a new child actor for the role. There's a darling behind-the-scenes video of Aubrey Anderson Emmons on set for the first time, telling the other actors she'd seen them on Modern Family. 19 of 20. Morgan in Boy Meets World. The role of Morgan in Boy Meets World started with Lily Nixay and ended with Lindsay Ridgway. While Nixay did a great job, the showrunners sensed that she wasn't happy during filming, and they decided to recast the role. 20 out of 20. Naomi in Private Practice. The pilot of Private Practice was filmed with Marin Dungy playing Naomi. When the show was picked up, Broadway star Audra McDonald was recast in the role. The Emmy and Tony-winning actress played the role for the rest of the series. 20 times.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Too many things going on, I can't keep track of them all. From people dropping a bomb to people putting up walls. I feel like life is on hold, perception stuck in a vault. I know that time can heal all, but how much time till we fall? It's awfully chilly outside when there's no shelter to hide. When everything is a lie, you'll find that out in some time. But when